What's up, everyone? And welcome to your daily dose of renewables, brought to you by the Renewable Energy Smart Pod. I'm your host, Sean McMahon, and if you want to hear more about a hilarious commercial featuring Samuel L. Jackson and offshore wind turbines, stick around for the end of this podcast. But for now, here's a look at some of the other renewables stories we're tracking today, July 30th, 2025. The Trump administration has confirmed that it's considering new obstacles for offshore wind, including a review to potentially halt projects on federal lands and blocking future offshore wind leasing rounds. The Interior Department also says that it's going to conduct a review of bird fatalities linked to the industry. Isn't it funny how in certain situations, the Trump administration suddenly becomes very concerned about the health of birds and whales? Next up is a story about an industry that probably isn't the first one to come to mind when you think about companies leveraging renewables. Faced with rising emissions targets and electrified fleets, many mining companies are embracing long-term power purchase agreements with renewables. Others are also going the co-location route to keep costs down for projects. Antofagasta already gets 100% of its power from renewables. And although some mining companies are lagging, low-cost renewables are becoming increasingly attractive as the industry tries to drive growth while controlling costs. And now, yet another story about the impact that the Trump administration is having on clean energy projects, with cancellations taking an ever-growing toll on jobs and investment dollars. According to the Big Green Machine database, project delays and cancellations are up six-fold in the first half of 2025, compared to the same period last year. At least 34 projects, totaling over $30 billion, have been paused, delayed, or canceled since President Trump took office. On the OEM front, the Japanese government is preparing to ink a memorandum of understanding with Vestas that will encourage the company to set up turbine manufacturing operations in Japan. In a separate deal, Nippon Steel has also agreed to partner with Vestas to supply steel for wind towers for its Asian and European markets. Both of these announcements are significant because Japan currently isn't home to any major turbine manufacturers and relies on imports to support domestic projects. On the money front, Cambridge University is leading two separate initiatives to restrict debt financing for fossil fuel projects. Partnering with Bloomberg, Cambridge has established a bond index that excludes companies involved in fossil fuel expansion. Additionally, Cambridge is also partnering with more than 70 other universities to invest in a money market fund that also avoids fossil fuel projects. And finally, this is going to be my favorite story of the week. The actor Samuel L. Jackson is lending his voice and his taste buds to offshore wind in a new ad campaign for Vattenfall that showcases seaweed snacks grown at wind farms. And Jackson knows what he's talking about, because did you know that he studied marine biology before pivoting to acting? With a mouthful of delicious seaweed snacks and his tongue firmly planted in his cheek, Jackson declares in the ad, quote, "Mother frickin' wind farms. Loud, ugly, harmful to nature. Who says that? These giants are standing tall against fossil fuels, rising up out of the ocean like a middle finger to CO2, end quote." Except, of course, he doesn't say mother frickin'. If you want to see the whole 1-minute ad, you have to check it out in today's newsletter. And that's all I have for this roundup. If you want to learn more details about these stories and others, be sure to click on the link in today's show notes to sign up for the Renewable Energy Smart Brief. The Renewable Energy Smart Pod is a production of Smart Brief, a future company.